Hello everyone.
Previously on TMan978's.
For TMan978's how-to, and in this how-to we're going to be transforming X-Transbots 86 fast to robot mode and back to vehicle mode. Hello everyone, TMan978. Welcome to another TMan978's how-to. This time it's going to be X-Transbots Fury. How to transform it to robot mode and back to vehicle mode again. I'm going to keep every single step in here and do it as slow and hopefully clear as possible. If I go off screen, I'm going to try not to do that. It's hard to do these complicated transformations and look at the figure and look at the screen at the same time. But please bear with me. First thing I'm going to do is open up the doors, which have this little notch right there that you gotta like get behind in order to grab. Like typically your brain wants to grab this, but then you can break it. But if you grab this, make sure you grab it by the base joint or the connection so you don't break anything. We can get that out and we can kind of loosen that, and it basically, things are just gotten loose by itself. So let me zoom back out before I forget about that. But now we need to separate, and I have the gun under there, so that's going to fall out. But they are pegged in right there on the sides. That's why you need to separate. But once we do that, nothing was connecting to the hips like the like fast. What's actually connecting this up here is like there are two holes right here and two pegs coming down from what will be his shoulders. But now that we've loosened that, we can basically bring everything down like that. Now, figures may vary. This might be loose on yours and things will just be flopping all around. Don't worry about that. What we need to worry about is the leg. And I am going to move this out a bit on both sides and just basically go ahead and bring the foot down on this hinge right here, these two hinges. I'm going to bring that down, rotate it, and get it out the way for now while I work with this leg and show you how things are different here. I'm going to lift up on this hinge that has the door, pull it out, leave it out the way. I'm going to lift up on this hood and rotate that in. And then we can flatten it basically on the back of the leg, which is very similar to fast. So some of these seem like the same steps, but they're slightly different. Like this one can actually bend out. Now we can elongate this leg on a double hinge right here, the knee right there. And once we do that, we can push in this little part right there that needs to get out the way for car mode. Now we can start rotating, and I always forget which way this rotates, but basically if it stops you, then you know you're going the wrong way, and it's stopping me from going that way. So basically, and there's not a lot of clearance, to be honest. We need to rotate that and rotate it up, because this needs to come over. And unlike fast where I rotated this in the beginning, you know what, let's try to no, it's easier to get it this way then rotate it. And once we get about here, we can push this down, push that into place, and now we should be able to rotate it more to the point where we can get this window into its position. Don't make me look crazy, thing. Yeah, it is kind of difficult. It's like less clearance than you have for fast, as far as that little hinge in there that rotates the door. But anywho, once it gets tabbed into this, like you saw me just do, we can bring this forward and tab that into place. Then we can bring this double hinge thing over and tab that into the back of the door. Now you're done right there. Here we can start rotating this more, start rotating this, and at this point we can rotate these wheels, start rotating this more, rotate this more, while opening that wheel. Make sure you have enough clearance to get through that. Now we can start flattening things, moving both of these at the same time till the wheel is flat at the bottom of the foot and this part of the car is flat. Now here's a change again. This needs to come down and then rotate that way. Now we can lower these two hinges to make the foot come down to at least that point. I hope the finished product of this looks clearer than what I'm seeing. I think I probably should have picked a different background for him because he's brown and I got a lot of brownish colors on there, but yeah. Anywho, bring this foot down again, rotate it, and then just get it out the way. We can move this out the way. We can open this up. And now I notice that this one's in the way. Get that out there. Fold this flap out. I'm going to rotate this way and shut it. In fact, it wasn't in the way, that was just me. But anywho, I'm going to rotate this out. Elongate the knee joint right there and shut that little weird panel in there. Now we can rotate this way and basically up out the way as much as you can. You can move the door past that and start rotating it. Put this, shut that, start rotating it and bending it down as you're rotating so we can get the window inside of the leg. And once you get enough clearance, come on, make sure this is straight, we can shove that into there. And something ain't right here. What the heck? What is going on here? This hinge can be pushed forward because it wasn't flush. Now it's flush. And now we can shut this into there. So it's a good thing you're seeing the struggles I'm having. But bring this and we can do that. Now here, same stuff. Start rotating this. Get the wheels rotated like that so they can be closer to the ground. That's why we're doing that. It seemed like it doesn't make sense, but start rotating this while rotating this and getting that wheel out. And continue rotating it till it's flat. And we can shut this and shut that. And lower that. Now the legs are done. Yay. The upper body, I'm going to go inside of the car. The steering wheel, this already came down, but the steering wheel is normally hanging down. You need to shut it flush in there, but it already did that. We can shut these down. And now we need to start getting this and the wheel away from the car body at the same time. Okay, we did that. And now we can like kind of grab here and twist so we can unpeg these windows. And we need to lift up on this to get it off of the arms. Open it. And now we should be able to unpeg the car roof from the front. It clips in right there. And I believe it clips in under there somewhere. So we can get that off and up out the way so that we can get these separated. And this is a little bit more difficult than fast for me. It seems more tight. There's less joint hinges. But let's turn on this light, or let me zoom in like this. there's a hinge right here that goes outward. We need to rotate that out, and then we can get this stuff out. Bring that down so you can see it. Rotate this, and then rotate that hinge so we can get it outward and out the way. These arms, they tab together. We can untab them and basically rotate them down. And I'm going to mess with those later. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to mess with these now. There's this panel right here. This part right here opens up, and it is kind of difficult to get to. I'm going to lift that up so that I can open that up. Now I'm going to shut that again and bring this whole thing around so that it can fill in that area. And now this peg fits into that peg hole. We can stretch out the arm, pull out the hand, and then I'm going to rotate here and get all of that out the way right there. Same deal over here. We're gonna move this arm so we can grab that. I'm gonna shut the arm back down and then move this up here, peg this into there, stretch out the arm, make sure that you grab it right here so that we don't damage that peg in any type of way. This, not that I know if that's a thing, but I'm just being careful myself. I'm going to rotate here so that the elbow will be facing this direction. Now, up in here, we need to lift this up and lift this up. Make sure you have enough clearance and bring the windshield over the back window. At this point, we can go ahead and turn the head around since it's easier to grab with your index finger and thumb. This right here and this thing, these lights. This chest panel is on this double hinge. It needs to rock back until it's sitting into this position. Make sure both of these fake half doors are in their place so that it can rest on that. Now in here, I'm going to grab these waist pieces and pull them down. And basically we need to rock this hinge back while rocking these waist pieces down so that they can grab into the center and so they can keep his body a little bit more stable. And up here, we need to make sure that these are beyond that. And let me lift the camera up. This is another step that's a little bit more difficult for this guy over fast. Basically, this is on a double hinge. We need to rotate this, but don't rotate it all the way because we need to get this down and into that hole right there. It seems like to me you gotta, like, at this point, move both of them forward at the same time while you're pegging that hole in, and then that pushes this part forward more. Same deal over here. I'm going to fold this, but keep it up a bit, bring it down, and let's zoom in while I'm doing this one. Once we're about here, we can kind of move both of them at the same time, like just make sure it's pegged in. And at this point, we can move both of these together on these hinges so that both of the wheels are touching each other like that. And now as long as you have the arms out the way, make sure this stuff is still straight. Bring this down. And there are two tabs right here that tab into this area down there. Excuse me. It's supposed to catch onto that. And now this. We need to rock this up, and start bending at it at this point. And we can tab this back together. And now there's a tab right here. When you lift this out, you bring this down and it tabs inside of the windshield. But squeeze his body. Oh, and I see that this lifted up right here for me. Some of this stuff is unavoidable. But yeah, now he is a robot. I'll complain about things in my full review, but there are some things that should have come together. But since we're right here and we're talking about the transformation, nothing you do will stop. Nothing you do will make this part connect better. And when that comes loose, this comes loose right here. So yeah, they should have did some extra work on that, but this one is better than a lot of other people have been having. So there you are with that. Okay, now we're going to do the transformation from robot mode to vehicle mode. Yeah. Hopefully this goes smooth. First thing I'm going to do is turn the head around. I believe you have to do it. I think it gets in the way in some type of way. Now this is kind of difficult, but you move that. Pull this off. Like I was saying, those hinges right here do not give you a lot of clearance, but we need to move that up and rotate them out, and we're going to be moving that around as we go. Now we can detach this, and the most important part is this needs to be basically in this direction so it can wind up being in the back. But let's come up here. We're going to spread this out, and this should be easier. We can open that, and then bring these out like this. This hood can come up and rotate forward like that. Down here, I am going to move the abs, well, separate the whole ab section like this. Maybe move these seats out the way. They don't stay latched, so I'm going to leave it like that. Move these ab pieces up back into the body. All right, now, before we forget, it might move by itself, but it's sitting back there. You need to lift the collar up above this fake windshield part to get that up. And now we can start shifting this forward, making sure to get these out the way. Start shifting this stuff forward. Don't peg anything in yet. These things right here are confusing. We need to bend this hinge down. Start shifting this up. Rotating the hinge down like this and lifting it up. So I'm going to do that again. Rotate this down. Rotate this down this way. Bend on this hinge this way. Keep rotating it down and then lifting it up like that. Now we can connect it, but push it forward so we can have room for these arms. The arms, the hands can go in and shut up against that. We can squeeze the forearm in there. This part right here, the front needs to, we need to split that. And for whatever reason, this arm keeps getting stuck on me. I don't know what's going on with that, because this one I can detach. Now this one is stuck on me. Well, I got it split, and I'm going to, it's not pegged anymore, so now I'm going to pull this out right here. And now it seems to go past that, but it didn't have to do that earlier. Got that, shut this, and then we can lift this up. And if I'm not mistaken, this needs to turn like that. And let's test this theory out. Now this needs to fold up. The arm needs to come up like this. Rotate. Yes. rotate up like this. Jesus Christ. Remembering how to do this part is tough for me. It's like I know the position it needs to be in, but getting it into that position is the tough part. Alright. I don't know if I showed this on film because I had to mess around with this. But this joint is basically, this is the rotational joint to make the arm go 360 by its side. We need to have things shaped like this, which I did correctly, but it needs to rotate this out more and then lift up like this, basically. But I feel like something is still bumping and in the way. But let's see. No, that's probably, that looks right there. Now we need to shut this, shut that, close this, unpeg this, get this out, and now this should be able to move freely back there. Okay. Bend this in. Lift this. Well, we can't lift that up until we get the fingers inward right there. Now we can lift this up, and let's see if I can do this again with this still being able to rotate like this. We can bend this back some more and rotate things up like this. Keep rotating until this matches up right there, like that. Great. Now we can bring this rear of the car back, which should peg into these two peg points in the arm. All right, now we can move this forward and start squeezing this down. It really plugs in right here in the front, and it plugs in right there. And now we can bring these down. This peg goes into that port right there. So while you're lining that up, line this up, because it's a peg that goes into the side of there. They do not stay secure, either one, so you may have to manipulate it the whole time you're manipulating this figure. Make sure all of this is closed in. That's what gets it more secure. Now we should be able to lift these seats up to plug into that. But these are also going to be moving around as well. And you can bring this steering wheel down. Come on, you. There we go. But all of this is probably going to get shifted out of your way, and you got to redo it. But his waist spins around because it's so loose. Let's start on these legs. I'm going to start on the foot. I'm going to lift this up and lift this out. I'm going to rotate this a bit and squeeze in that tire past this stuff and make it peg together. Now we can rotate this and start spinning this fender piece around while rotating the wheel around, and don't close it all the way. But I'm gonna leave it down there so it's out the way. This stuff back here on the back of his leg. We can grab this and fold that. We can grab this and pull that out of there. I'm going to elongate the knee a little bit and start pulling this off of that pegging point. Then we need to kind of rotate the front of his shin up so that we can get this out some more. and rotate this. Now, while we're here, we should be able to rotate the door to where that needs to be. And we should be able to finish rotating. I say finish rotating the hood of the car. Let's move that back. Move the hood out the way. Get this back over here and open the hood up. Now on the leg, we need to grab on this little piece. And let's zoom in. Accordion that down like that, where this little piece is hanging over that. Back here, we could have did this earlier. Fold this piece in and shut this into the leg with that looking like that. Now let me zoom back out. I'm gonna leave the hood like this for now, but rotate this to match up with the rest of the leg and push this up there. And now the hood needs to shift forward to meet up with that. Oh boy. Now let's try to do that on this leg. I'm going to open this up on the back of his foot and lift that up. Now I'm going to elongate this joint right here. And do this, shut that, and rotate these wheels right here. And rotate this and rotate this right here. So it can be like that, but I'm gonna leave that out some. Please God. I'm gonna leave this in here. People know that I'm recording. I have a sign on the door. And they just keep yelling in the hallway. So when I take hiatus from doing videos, it's stuff like that that gets on my nerves. But anywho, I'm gonna fold this back, lift this up, start lifting this out, bend this front hood piece up so that we can get this past that and out to the side. At this point, we should be able to rotate the door. Sorry, it was like this. I'm going to rotate it like that. Now we are going to rotate the hood, and I keep forgetting which direction we go. We turn it this way. Lift that up. Bring this part of the hood out. It was folded in. I'm going to bring it out. Now I'm going to shut this earlier into the leg. I'm going to open this part of the leg and accordion that joint inside of there. There we go. Accordion that joint in there with this piece hanging over. Now we should be able to move the door over. And we should be able to, oh sorry, I see the problem. I have this pointed down. Bring this back up to meet with this, and bring this down to meet with that. Now this part is going to be tough. I'm going to put the legs together, and while we're here, I'm going to put the gun in. Well, basically the gun needs to peg in right there. It is very loosely pegged, so it's best to just do it now, because trying to do it later is going to be a hassle. Peg that together. Make sure that the thighs are as straight as you can get them if you rotated it at the thigh. Now here's the goal. We need to rotate this in such a position where this part connects with that. So bend on that hinge and keep rotating until we can get, it is very difficult because these ratchets are tight. We need to like hold that but get it into that position. It finally twisted for me, but keep this open so we can get the doors out the way and get this even more forward. Get the fenders kind of up because they got to wrap around this little peg on both sides so that the side fender can go in there. But we need to move it back. There we go. I got it back. Now we can get this down and get these around. Move the doors forward so that they can get into their place. Move these into their place. Shut the doors. Shut the door. Squeeze everything basically. Shut that. Shut this. Bro, what is happening right now? Oh, if you can't shut things, more than likely these wheels have twisted. They get in the way of things. But still, what in the heck? What didn't I do down here? Hold on. I see my problem. You see this? That side of the gun peg isn't in there, so I'm gonna have to push something in there so I can get it actually tabbed in. Full disclosure, I thought I was recording this part, but I obviously wasn't. I wasn't able to actually move that piece, but what I did was like bend here and then squeeze, and now it shuts. And then I went around and pinched everything to make sure everything is closed together. It rolls. It's great. It's good. Before we all the way get out of here, I didn't flip these around. And I also didn't show y'all that they could flip around. See how that looks with real car detail? But it was flat. You can flip that around in vehicle and robot mode to look more smooth and cartoony if you want. Anyway, if this video helped you in any type of way, please make sure you subscribe for more content from me. Or click like and share, or you could do all those things if you want to help me out monetarily. I have the super thanks down there underneath of the likes and all, or down there with the like button and all that junk. Or I have other things in my description for stuff you can do that will help me out. Or you can follow me on social media, or you can go to my Amazon links, any of that type of stuff. Anywho, thank you for watching this. Until next time, TMan978 out of here. I'm going to rotate this down. Are you shitting me, bro? How does this work?
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should